Thank you so much. I'm very excited to be here today and talk to you a little bit about me and Mofi's projects. So my first project is called Town to 10. So I'll just share my screen. So I basically came up with the idea for Town to 10 fall of last year. So I was a sophomore at the time, and I thought of the idea, and then I brought in my friend Jonathan Tago, who's a class of 2021, and also my other friend Mofi, who ended up also co-sponsoring the next project with me, and she's also a class of 2022. So the reason we kind of came up with our project was first thinking about the problem. So one thing we all had noticed was the lack of, in terms of numbers and matriculation of Black women at MIT. I think our percentage of Black students, specifically undergraduates, is very low. But when we think about kind of that gender distribution, it's not 50-50. So thinking about why that happens and what we can do to attack the problem. So you can see here I have a graph. This is just taken from the MIT diversity data site. So it speaks to the number of Black undergraduates on campus. So that was 60% at the time when I founded the program, 6% in 2019. And then also my sophomore fall, I started an independent study within the Women and Gender Studies department in which I looked into the history of Black female recruitment at MIT. And one thing I actually learned was that although in the 60s, we did a lot of targeted recruitment to Black students. There was never an initiative, and even today, there has never been an initiative targeted specifically at getting Black women at MIT. And then something else is since my sophomore year as well, I've served on the committee on undergraduate admissions and financial aid. So that committee has also informed a lot of my thoughts surrounding admissions and why this problem might occur. So our main two goals after kind of thinking about the problem in terms of the low matriculation rate of Black women, our first goal was to increase the number of qualified applicants. So kind of thinking about it as one, making sure that MIT was seeing how great these Black women were through their, and making that show through their application. And then the second part was increasing MIT's yield of Black women. So from being on QAFA, the Committee on Undergraduate Admissions and Financial Aid, I kind of learned that it's not just that MIT isn't accepting Black women, but also that in comparison to our competitors, our yield isn't the best in terms of Black women. So thinking about that as well, how do we convince Black women that they should attend MIT? So those are the two main goals of the Town to 10 project. So just in terms of progress, we found out about BCAP. We were very excited. We wrote up our proposal, and we were very happy to be granted the money. So the first thing we did was create an application and open up an application in December. So in the beginning, we pubbed on Facebook, lots of social media ads. We also partnered with the National Society of High School Scholars, who sent it out to their list of over 20,000 students. We also partnered with the WISH Foundation, which is local to my home in Miami, Florida. And with all of that, I think we had applications open for 3 weeks or 2 weeks, and we got 174 applications. And then from there, we looked through the applications and picked 55 applicants to submit short answers. And then from there, we narrowed it down again and got 20 people to interview. So either me, Tago, or Mofi were there to interview the applicants. And then we selected 10, which are our talented 10. So then here they are. We got pictures sent. Ideally, I'll talk about this more later. We were supposed to have a gathering where we could have taken an in-person picture, but because of COVID, that wasn't allowed. So actually at the time we selected them, they were all juniors in high school from all around the nation. So states represented include Georgia, Tennessee, even someone from Boston Latin in Massachusetts. So here are the 10 girls who are now currently seniors and starting to apply to MIT. So just in terms of the program features, our main thing was that it was supposed to be a fly-in. So March 13th to the 15th, some people may know that's when MIT students were actually sent home. But the idea was to bring all 10 of the girls to campus. They would stay in dorms with MIT students, and we'd have a long list of programming for them. Unfortunately, we had to cancel it the week of, but the BCAP fund would have helped pay for those flights as well as their meals while they were on campus. Something else we planned was in person. We were going to have MIT admissions come and speak. We were going to have conversations about scholarships and financial aid, also diversity at MIT in terms of the offices and programming, and then also leadership and community service. So one thing we've done is transition that all to online webinars. So right now we're actually scheduling our 4th webinar of the summer. So throughout the summer we hop on Zoom and we bring in special guests and we kind of just talk through the different components on the slide. Something else is tutoring. So if any of the girls have problems in any of their classes, they're actually paired with Black females at MIT. So they're supposed to go to them for any help they need, specifically around academic issues. The 4th part is what I just said in terms of mentorship. So the main point of the program is to match them with someone who looks like them, who cares about what they care about. So we actually have 8 mentors split across the 10 girls. So they're really helping them right now craft their application. The last stage is community service. So we've actually been able to help 2 girls so far who wanted to create a project but didn't have the funds. So for instance, one girl actually wants to do like a lab class for her church. So she's sending lab kits out and she'll teach the class over Zoom and kind of just encouraging that science interest early on. And then my last side, one other thing we were able to do with the BCAP fund was send Talented 10 packages since they weren't able to come to campus. So we got them all shirts. We also bought some MIT merch, some information about the multicultural focus programs and offices on campus. And then also we have some free zip card merch in our dorm, so we were able to send that out. So here are some of the girls with their shirts. But that's all my quick summary of my project. So thank you.